It is Saturday, February 10th, 2024. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Saturday crossword today, which means a tricky puzzle, possibly the trickiest of the week. Hopefully not too brutally difficult, because as I thought, and I think as many of you did as well, based on the comments on the YouTube video and the Daily Solve Discord chat server, many of you also found it quite challenging. Yesterday's puzzle, so hopefully this isn't too much beyond that. One other quick thing I wanted to mention: I don't know how much overlap there is, probably not very much, between my audience here on these YouTube videos and those of you who listen to any of my music on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, any of the streaming services. But this week, an album was published under my name that has been linked to my name on all of the music streaming services, and it's absolutely not mine. It's been very frustrating, and I'm trying to get it taken down. I'm only mentioning it because people have been listening to it, and I don't want there to be any confusion, because it is not my music, and I think it is very straightforward fraud, because the same music publisher has been putting fraudulent albums on other composers' online names this week as well. So it's definitely not an accident. It is malicious and intended to profit from that confusion. So anyway, if you see a new release from me this week anywhere, it's not mine. Anyway, let's get on to the crossword itself. Sorry for that detour. I'm just trying to make people aware of this, so there's to minimize confusion. In any case, this hopefully not too challenging edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by who's been brought to us by Mike from Vermont, Daily Buzzard, Dre, and as always, the indomitable Showmaster. So thank you so much to the four of them. They're benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, which means they directly support this channel, and they keep this whole thing going. It's a huge help to me to have that support, and it does allow me to do this series. So thank you to those four. Thank you to everybody who is a patron of this channel at any level. I really do appreciate it. And thanks as well if you have subscribed to the channel on YouTube, if you like the videos, if you comment on them, and so on. Those things are all quite a big help as well. And then finally, there's the Daily Solve Discord chat server, where you can talk about how tough these puzzles are, or not so much, if as the case may be. And there's a link to that in the description field, where, as I forgot to mention, you can also find the link to the Daily Solve Patreon campaign for all those bonus videos. And let's get on to the crossword. This is a name I certainly recognize: Joaquin Bernickel, I should say, who's constructed nearly 80 puzzles for the New York Times and was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. Let's start solving and see how we do with this themeless Saturday crossword. Oh, interesting grid. It's symmetrical only about a vertical axis. It is not rotationally symmetrical, as is usually the case with New York Times crosswords. Interesting. I wonder, it's a themeless puzzle, so it shouldn't have anything to do with the subject matter, but we'll see. Anyway, banking annoyance associated with the 20s. Are we meant to think of the 1920s and think of the stock market crash, but then the question mark indicates no, it's actually not that, it's something else? I suspect that's the case, but I don't actually know what it is. Ah, got it now. Eureka? I don't know. Oh, Eureka, sort of. I have found it, but I don't know. It could be this, but I'm not sure. This can't be good. Olympian Strug or Walsh Jennings. No idea. Sierra Nevada or Lagunitas offering. Okay, I don't think this is right, because this is probably ale or IPA. I don't actually know how to infer which of the two it is, because an IPA, an India Pale Ale, is itself an ale. So if they've got the IPA, then the other sort of is there by default. Long-running account. A saga. Let's try that and see if I can get anything from it. Blank group. As a group. Maybe you did something as a group. Carrier of a bow and arrow. Well, ending in an S, I would think maybe Eros, the god of love, who shoots the love's arrows. Okay, got it now. Oh, something I see. I see, right? Because in the clue is not O. So that means we can put O in the grid. You're never going to repeat a word from a clue into its answer, but you might repeat an almost identical word. So then that would make this Sierra Nevada or Lagunitas offering IPA. And I should have, I mean, I guess I guess this maybe was clear by inference, but I didn't actually state that Sierra Nevada and Lagunitas are both breweries. So that's why I was thinking of beers immediately. Blank Mode, character in The Incredibles, Edna Mode, the costume designer character in The Incredibles, who was voiced by director Brad Bird and based on famed Hollywood costume designer Edith Head. Okay, Sarah, who wrote the Pretty Little Liars books. I've not read these nor seen the show, I think. Is it a show or a movie? I think it's a show. But it looks like Shepherd, maybe. It looks like, I mean, that's a very common name that would fit here. So let's try it and see. Olympian Struggle, Walsh Jennings. Right, I still don't know this. I don't know. This can't be good. Oh, no, no. Oh, darn. Oh, rats. I don't know. I feel it could be anything. Scrapes. Skins, as in your knee, or scrapes. Or it could be you're in a scrape, you're, as in jams, or, okay, I don't know, not sure. 2020, oh, interesting. Is this going to be a themed puzzle? I'm very surprised. It's a Saturday. Saturday is usually the second of two themeless puzzles in a given week. 20, but this is being, oh, no. I think this is just a compound clue, I think. Or not a compound clue. It's just being referenced by another clue. That's fine. I thought this was maybe going to be a revealer because it was in a sort of place you might expect to find a theme revealer. And with the unusual symmetry of the puzzle, I was thinking maybe there's a stealth theme in today's crossword, but maybe not. Tiny social climber. An ant or something? Because ants have ant colonies, so you could sort of describe them as social animals in some sense, and they're tiny, and they can climb up walls and things. I'm going to just try it and see if it actually works. Game of Thrones character whose name means noble in Sanskrit. Okay, that I don't know, not having seen Game of Thrones. What about this one? Many a camp counselor, teen. Teens, I think, are often camp counselors. Exam for a doc to be. I think this is the MCATs, medical something, admissions test, or something like that. I don't remember what it stands for, but I think this is what you take to get into medical school. Oh, banking annoyance. ATM something? ATM fee. It's a banking annoyance associated with the 20s. That's funny because that's a clever pun. I've not seen this one before. So you might get charged an ATM fee when withdrawing cash, which is denominated in 20s. That's pretty good. Okay. Concerns for manufacturers. All right. I would have said defects if I didn't have MCAT. Is there something that... No, I'm pretty sure this is MCAT. Concerns for manufacturers. I don't know. Way out. Far, if something's way out, it's kind of far away, it's far. Grilled corn on the cob dish in Mexican cuisine. Elote, I think this is. Grilled corn on the cob dish. You can get this at, at street vendors and things. I mean, or at least when I lived in San Francisco for many years, you could. Not so much here in London, at least not as far as I've seen. Concerns for manufacturers are recalls. Something could be a manufacturer, a fault could be a defect could be discovered, and then something is recalled. So Game of Thrones character, Arya, maybe that's a word, could be a name, although it doesn't look very good here. Oh, 2024, year of the dragon. Oh, right. And that's appropriate because it's Lunar New Year today, isn't it? So I didn't realize it was the year of the dragon. I always forget to keep up with these things. I guess any any sort of, I don't know, astrology or similar thing of any culture, I seem to be under aware most of the time. Red and green headwear. Elf hat, I guess. This can't be good. Oh darn, or yeah, it's oh darn, oh damn, oh drat. It could be any number of things. Okay. House Speaker's place. So you read this and you think it means the House of Representatives, but I'm wondering if we're meant to be thrown off track by that. What else could it be? House Speaker's place. If you have maybe an audio speaker in your home? I don't know, not sure. Playground, question mark. I just don't have any ideas. Lacks informally. Hasn't? It's not really informally. It's not really informal. I mean, it's contracted, but I don't know that a simple common contraction would be considered informal speech. Lacks. Maybe a contraction counts as informally. Let's look at this. Regulation followers, in brief. Well, it probably ends with an S. Scrapes, yeah, that does as well. Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure about hasn't. Evidence of crying. Dilation? Dilated pupils? Maybe. Does that? I think that happens when you cry. Do your pupils dilate when you cry? I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, but that's not even how it would be spelled. It would be spelled Dilatation. Okay. Never mind. Sorry. Forget that. Part of a choir. Tenor. A tenor voice could be a part of it. You could have a very common separation in a choir: soprano, alto, tenor, bass. This can't be good. Oh dear. Okay, that was one I didn't think of, but there we go. That's it. Scrapes. Set twos? Oh, right. Not a scrape as in a tricky situation, but a scrape as in a dust up or a fight. So you're in a bit of you're getting into a scrape with somebody. It's a set to. It's kind of a slightly quaint way of referring to that, I think. Okay, lacks informally, still could be hasn't. Playground. Oh, a theater. I see. A play is in a dramatic production. There we go. So Olympian Strug or Walsh Jennings. Hares? Is this because they're German? So this is the title, the sort of title you'd use addressing them? Herr Strug? I don't know if that's what this is getting at. Oh, no, but you wouldn't do that anyway because it's an or clue. So it wouldn't be pluralized regardless because we're only referring to either one of them. Okay, so it probably is a name still, which is what my first thought was. I just don't know the name. Lacks informally. Right, okay. Oh, this is a speaker, an audio speaker at your home. So a house speaker's place would be a stereo. You could have a speaker on your stereo system. And then regulation followers. Aha, I see. It's OTs. After regulation time, you go into overtime. There we go. That's what we're looking for here. So in a sport, in a match, in a sports game. So I guess lacks informally is hasn't. And then evidence of crying. Oh, it's a tear stain. It's not dilation, which I misspelled anyway. Oh, and I guess I had misspelled elotes. There we go. So it's E-L-O-T-E. That looks better. That looks more accurate now that I see it, but I just remembered it incorrectly. Sorry about that. Well, good. I'm glad why was that even erased? Oh, it's because I erased dilation. Okay, well, that was fortunate, I suppose, in terms of making this look more accurate. I think if I had seen the I there, it would have been more distracting. So good. I sort of lucked out there. All right. Material for deck chairs. Teak. You do often hear about teak being used on outdoor furniture. Rocked, so to speak. In awe or something. I was rocked. I was in awe. I don't know. I'm not sure. Preschool recital. ABCs? I don't know. You might recite the ABCs in preschool. Canvas for digital art, ? Maybe digital as in fingers? Oh, yes, it is. It is. Okay, so your digits are your fingers. So digital art might refer to nail art. There we go. Took me a moment to get over that misdirection, but of course it is signaled to us by the ? And I suppose also the quotation marks around canvas to indicate we're not talking about a literal canvas. All right, preschool recitals. Maybe it is ABCs then. Sister brand of Miracle Grow. So this is a plant fertilizer. I don't know what a sister brand would be. Man with a Manx say. A cat guy. So a Manx cat could be owned by a cat guy. Maybe. Symbol of purity or spirituality. Lilac sounds, based on the crosses, I think that sounds plausible to me. Lilac's pure. Sure. Home to the Crazy Horse Memorial. Oh, black something. I'm not sure off the top of my head. Let's look at this. Is this CGI? No, it isn't. Setting for a Twins or White Sox game, abbreviation. Chicago Twins or Chicago White Sox. Is it abbreviated CGO? I don't. Oh. CGT is Scotch something. Is that a fertilizer brand? I don't know. These crosses don't look very good. Kit. Oh no, this isn't Cat Guy. Cat Man, because Kit Kat is a brand of candy bar. Maybe I'll delete this for now. Cat seems likely. Cat Man. I don't know. M wouldn't make any sense here, would it? So CHI probably for Chicago. It is Chicago, isn't it, or not? Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't know enough about sports. I'm sorry. Man with a Manx, say. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm doing around here. Sister brand of Miracle Grow. Oh, Scott's. Scott's is that's a lawn care or some kind of gardening brand. I'm sure I've seen that at some point in my life. Scott's. That looks correct for this. So then what about setting? Maybe it's no. Is it the Minneapolis Twins? So is this Central Standard Time? It's setting as in clock setting, a time setting, time zone. Okay. So I still don't know what this is. Maybe it's daylight time. It is Cat Dad. Okay. Really had to play around with that for a while to get it, much like a cat might play around with a ball of yarn. Okay. Treat often eaten with a small wooden spoon. Gelato is often served with a small wooden spoon. Okay, to grant temporary custody would be to put question mark there. I'm not sure what the pun is. What about this? Badly off base. Could be, you read it and it just sounds like being incorrect about something, but it could be dealing with, badly off base. Maybe as in deserting from a military base. You're sort of off base in a bad way. You're gone AWOL. There we go. That's it. I bet this is the answer. I'll be very pleased if it is, because that was a good. I feel as though this puzzle is training me to start sort of stretching for this kind of pun. This almost feels slightly more Friday-like in a way, in the punniness and sort of cleverness of the constructions here linguistically. Just plain silly. Inane, maybe? Probably could be other possibilities, but let's look at this one. Well, this is pointing in that direction. So smoothie berry, the official superfood berry of the New York Times crossword, the acai berry. There we go. Need to make sure we don't go too long without one of those. Cry after a motion. So could be a motion filed in court, maybe? Cry after a motion. Or could be maybe like a jump scare in a film. I don't know, sorry. Annual mecca for sci-fi and fantasy fans. Some kind of con, some kind of convention, maybe? Let's just put in con at the end and see. Grant temporary custody. Oh, lend. Okay, this is almost like anti-misdirection. It's about as simple as it goes. To grant temporary custody to somebody is to lend them something. Okay, straightforward enough. But obviously it's punny. It's got the question mark because when you read this, you think of temporary custody of a child or something like that after a divorce, that sort of thing. Okay, cry after a motion. I second. Yes, someone proposes a motion in, say, a committee meeting or something, and then somebody, or a legislature, and then somebody seconds the motion, and then it'll be voted upon. So to discuss something with is to confer. Discuss something with a person would be to confer with that person about that thing. Okay. Pasta shaped like wagon wheels. It's not rotini. It's not wagon wheels. What is this one? I can picture it in my mind. I can't think what it's called. Is it Rotel? I don't know. Actress Blanchett, Kate Blanchett. Apple Pay, e.g. is an E. It's an E something. Is it an E? Apple Pay. It's an E payment system. I don't know what else to call it. It's E. I don't know. Learning opportunity. Not sure. Half a score would be 10. So a score of something is 20 of it. Telephone line band in brief is ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. That's a great song by ELO. An e-wallet is what Apple Pay is. Okay, sure, fair enough. I guess that's I guess this is a vaguely new enough concept that we're still in the world of acceptable e-words around it, so I won't throw up too much of a stink. Okay, well, oops. Let me see. Have I looked at this one? No, I haven't. Loses color. Wilts, maybe? Like a flower? Honors held by only one U.S. president and one UK prime minister. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm confident. Oh, Wilts actually doesn't look good down here either, so maybe that was wrong for more reasons than I thought. Learning opportunity. Oh, a lesson is a learning opportunity. Oh, pales. If you lose color, you pale. That's much better. I think this might be what I thought it was. Oh, the Black Hills. Is that the Crazy Horse Memorial? Yes, there we go. It must be. And then honors held by only one U.S. president and one UK prime minister, PhDs. That's very interesting. I wonder who they were. I can't think which either of them would have been off the top of my head. Oh, that's annoying not to know, but it's a very interesting fact. Huh. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Okay, celebratory greeting for 16 across. Year of the Dragon. Celebratory greeting for. Oh, that's funny. We have. I mean, I could have mistyped something. We have acai is in here. I don't think that means anything. One born between the mid-1960s and 1980. Generation X or... I see. Yes, a Gen Xer. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Gen Xer is one born between those years. Okay. Annual MegaCon, maybe? I've never heard of this, but it could well be an annual Mecca for sci-fi and fantasy fans. Let's look at the crosses. One of two, yeah, I think it might be, because one of two in a tournament could be the semifinals. You've got two of those, and then the winners play in the finals. I think this is MegaCon. After that, it must be. Blank clothing. Don't know. Like some brains and pool balls. When I think of pool balls, I think of stripes and solids. I don't see how either of those is relevant. So there must be some descriptor I'm not thinking of. Okay, rocked, so to speak. Yeah, okay, I looked at that one, I didn't know it. Pentagon figures. So it could be pentagon as in the polygon, the shape. It could be pentagon as in the U.S. Department of Defense building. Don't know which I think it is. Okay, institution of 40 plus years that has many notable alums. Boy, that's vague. You'd think there would be quite a few possibilities that this could be. I don't know what to think about. Personal number, question mark. Personal number, question mark. Your cell number, that's too obvious and it wouldn't have a question mark there. Withdraw from, to cede from, no, that's not withdraw, that's sort of give something away. To withdraw from something is to wane. You wouldn't really say to wane from something, I don't think. Celebratory greeting, I'm probably not going to know this until I get it with crosses. Bull-like is taurine? Is that a sort of valid adjectival form of Taurus? It looks reasonable to me. Let's try leaving it there for now. Bit of sportswear. Okay, I don't know, but let's look at the crosses from taurine. Bad. What are we doing with the extra A's? Is it another tisk? Is it another one of those? Which the New York Times crossword loves. It is the official chide. I'm gonna declare tisk the official chide of the New York Times crossword. It might not be the answer here, but it feels like it could be. So is that blank? Is that all, you might ask? Okay, good. I'm feeling better about taurine. And then, or taurine maybe. Bit of sportswear. A slipper? I don't know why that would be sportswear per se. I don't know. Legit. Oh, this doesn't look great, does it? If not for that L, I would have said kosher. Is that, oh, maybe it is kosher. Because this could be, is that a no? That's a thing you could ask somebody. So a sneaker would be a bit of sportswear. There we go. A trainer, a shoe. Okay, so blank clothing, designer clothing. There we go. Could be brand name designer clothing. And then a Puma rival. So this is, right, an appropriate cross to sneaker, Nike, or Nike here in the UK, which produces trainers, sneakers. And then woman's name that becomes a direction when its fourth letter is changed. When its fourth letter is changed. Nora becomes North. There we go. Good. And, oh, I didn't look at this one ever. Some local sports associations, informally. Some local sports associations, informally. It's interesting that it's so long, but it's an informal word. I don't think I have any good ideas for what this might be. Withdraw from, ending with an N, okay. Wean, to wean yourself from, cigarettes, for instance, to withdraw from them. Is there a better way to phrase that? To wean from? Because the reason I'm saying that is because from, in parentheses here, it means we're going to apply it both to the clue and the answer. So you should be able to say withdraw from, and then whatever the answer is, from. So wean from. I don't know. I usually think of wean off of, or wean away from, maybe. No, I don't know. Capital with an airport named after Chopin. Krakow? Do I think that's right? Sorry, I was just thinking about wean. What about this? Personal number. I just don't have any idea what this one is. It's so vague. So is this, the institution of 40 plus years. Boy, okay. Racked. You rack your brains and you rack pool balls. There we go. That's what it is. No, not Krakow. Warsaw, maybe. That still allows that still keeps that W there. Ween. Maybe that's right. I think it is. I bet it is. What about this? Rocked, so to speak. Wake, rocked. I don't understand rocked, having that ED ending. What on earth is that corresponding to here? You rocked something, so to speak. I keep thinking of things like wave, or, like as a boat is rocked on the waves, but the part of speech doesn't match. But it says so to speak, so it isn't going to be a sort of literal formal meaning necessarily, or that means it's just an example of this thing. So in other words, if it were something like played music, you could say rocked, so to speak, because rock would only be one example of the kind of music you were playing at the time, that you could have been playing. It's just not help. This train of thought is not helping me, unfortunately. Pentagon figure. Oh, areas, as in areas of a shape of a polygon, in this case, a pentagon. And then common gift during Chinese Spring Festival. Oh, I don't know. What is this? And what is this one again? Oh, this is the local sports associations. I don't know. This is a tough conclusion, isn't it? Personal number. Question mark. Common gift during Chinese Spring Festival. I'm trying to think if I might actually know this or recognize it somewhere in the recesses of my brain. I'm trying to rack my brain here. And this is this is probably the most confounding of all of these for me right now. I just don't even know where to begin with this one. Oh no, maybe rec something? Is it a rec facility, a rec center, rec venues? Maybe this isn't Ween. Maybe I've been relying too much on that guess. It just sort of ended up chaining with Warsaw for these, which I'm confident about. Rec. Maybe the U in Taurian is right? I don't think so. Oh, war. You're rocking that jacket. You're wearing that jacket. So if one rocked an outfit, one wore it. That's why it's so to speak. Orange. Orange is a common gift during the Chinese Spring Festival. That sounds familiar. SNL is the institution of 40 plus years that has many notable alums. It's weird that I said that way. Oh. Well, this is less obvious than I thought it was going to be after I got a little farther. What? Why is this so difficult for me? Reclu... Rec... I don't know what this is. Sorry. Oh, personal number is age, though. Yeah, this probably is ween. What is this? Oh, leagues. Leagues. It's an association. It's not a place. What was I doing thinking of? For some reason, I kind of read this a while ago and then kept going back to it, but didn't properly read it the subsequent times. And in my brain, somehow this got modified into, I don't know, buildings or places or something. Oh, that is infuriating. So then that would make this a G, which would make the greeting, I'm sorry in advance for doing a terrible job with this. It'll be something like Gong Shi Fa Kai or something like that. Gong Shi Fa Kai, Year of the Dragon celebratory greeting. No, that's wrong anyway. So, all right. Okay, what a disaster this puzzle's been for me so far. So yesterday's I thought was pretty tough for a Friday. Today's I find pretty tough for a Saturday. The problem is, unlike yesterday, I don't have an immediate guess as to where I went wrong, because I think by the time I actually put things in at the end, I was feeling pretty confident about them. Okay, I'm just going to have to run through the puzzle. I'll just pause the video so you don't need to watch me doing this. Hopefully I don't take too long to find it, for my own sake, I guess. Well, actually, immediately, just after I started, I got to this. I started at the beginning, went to the second answer, realized this could be okay, I see, which would make this carry, which would also be a name. I mean, in fact, it would be a name that is more recognizable to me than Harry. So let's try it and see. That was it. Okay, that's one where, to be honest, I don't know how I could have known this. I don't know how I could have known it from the beginning, because I don't know these sports figures. So, as far as I could tell, Harry would be a perfectly legitimate word. It sounds sort of Nordic to me, but or perfectly ordinary name, I suppose is what I mean to say. And then oh, I see and okay, I see to me are basically synonymous. So that was just an unfortunate, I think, coin flip basically on that one. And I came up wrong the first time, but there we go. That was the Saturday puzzle. Boy, that was a tricky one. That was a tough puzzle for me. So I don't even know how to determine if I think I did find it probably trickier than yesterday's, to be honest. Yesterday's I found kind of resistance throughout. Today's, at a few points, I got basically stuck. But there we go. That happens sometimes. And I wonder what am I meant to be? Because there sort of is a micro theme in this puzzle. I think this Year of the Dragon, and then the celebratory greeting. And I'm just wondering is there a thing that's being illustrated in the grid with the black cells that is pointing to this holiday? And I'm just not sure off the top of my head. So someone can let me know in the comments. I'll be curious to see. But I assume that there's a reason that this grid is constructed in this slightly unusual manner. I'm curious to know. Anyway, there we have it. That was the Saturday crossword, and that was the Saturday video. I'll be back tomorrow with the much larger and unambiguously themed, most likely, Sunday crossword. So do join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Saturday. Take care. Oh, and happy Chinese New Year.